Hello everyone, welcome back once again to another episode of Golf Cart Garage. It is Taco Tuesday once again. It's Taco Tuesday with Tim, where we talk. Taco Tuesday with Tim, where we talk about golf carts. That's a lot of T's there. All right, we come here every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time, and we discussed a lot of golf cart issues. Try to help some people out. I kind of feel like we've helped a lot of people out over the time that we've been doing this. I am a member of the Gearheads on Demand service that golfcartgarage.com offers. Golfcartgarage.com, we sell golf cart parts. But we also offer a Gearheads on Demand service where you can actually speak with me one-on-one if you feel like you need to about a golf cart issue. If you'd like to talk to me one-on-one, you can set an appointment and I'll call you. We can turn it into a video call if we need to, if you got something that I need to see. And if I can't help you, I'm not going to charge you, but it is a paid service. I show this at the end of the video, but it is a paid service when you sign up for a time slot. Or you can catch me here on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. You can get into the chat room like everybody is right now and try to get your question in. I try to get to everybody's comment and questions. If you got just a short question, if I don't know the answer, someone in the room might most likely will. We have a lot of people that have different levels of experience in the room nowadays, which is good. Let me check on Facebook and see if we're rolling over there. It looks like we are. Might be dragging a little bit, but it's showing that it's rolling on Facebook. Cool. Let's see what's going on. Joe Foster, what's going on, Joe Foster? David Irwin, I'm back and thank God it's alive. It's nice to be here. David Irwin, everybody in the chat on YouTube wish David Irwin a speedy recovery. He had a little issue. I don't know how much he wants me to say about it, but he had a little issue and apparently he's doing good. He's back good enough to be in the room. So everybody wish David Irwin a speedy recovery. Thank you for being able to show up, David. I'm glad that you were able to today. Stephen Miller, what's up, Stephen? Howdy from Michigan. Gene Hansen, sunny, 38, Michigan. Going on, Gene. Joe Foster, hello, Gearhead, 68, and Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Kurt, hey, Tim, looks like we skipped spring, 80 already, and climbing. Good day to go out riding. Kurt, I actually went riding yesterday, so you're exactly right. It's been some riding weather. I actually rode yesterday. In fact, my motorcycle was outside, and I hadn't even brought it in yet, so it's not even in here with me. But yeah, I went riding yesterday. It was really nice. Today, I have to mow, believe it or not. Today's the first day. I don't know. It's been a while. I guess it's been almost a year since I mentioned that I actually mow grass for a big ranch, just a little part-time thing. So today's going to be the first mow at the ranch of the season. So it's kind of cool outside today, so it's going to be unusual, but it's getting time to mow here in Central Arkansas. Eagle River Mike, hello Tim. Mike from Eagle River, Wisconsin, checking in. What's going on, Mike? I believe Mike was a previous winner of one of our giveaways. Larry England, hello everyone, 43, Northeast Indiana. Mike Irvin, afternoon y'all, 49 and sunny in southwestern Indiana. What's going on there? AEHR, I think I know who that is. Thank you for joining us. Rob Cedar, hey y'all. Hey Tim, great to talk to you last week. Rob was our last winner of the bag of swag. Just got a text that my package just got delivered. Had to go to Ohio before it came to South Carolina. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're getting it. I'm glad we got the tracking number. I sent Rob an email telling him that this was the tracking number, and I forgot to paste the tracking number in his email. But yeah, I'm glad you got it, Rob. Should be there. So congratulations again on being the latest winner. Aaron G, am I in the right place for golf cartaholics? 42 and partly sunny Central Indiana. You are in the right place, Aaron G. Or Aaron G. Helpless Garage. Hi all, beautiful 62 degrees. Yep, getting ready for the flood rains coming starting tomorrow. That's why I've got to mow, because I saw that on the weather. So I'm going to try to get the mowing done before the rains come, and then it's just going to make it grow again, and then I'm going to have to mow again. If we're gonna have all this sunshine and rain, I'm gonna be mowing a lot. Galactic Technologies, what's going on? I don't have very much to mow here at my house, but at the ranch, I mow about, I don't know, probably, I guess about 3 acres, something like that. Rich Eastman, 50 degrees, sunny here on the eastern shore of Virginia. What's up, Rich? Notice this on Facebook, something new. Kirk says, I just thought you might like to know, I'm receiving notices from Facebook, something new. You mean like notifications that the show's about to start? Is that what you're talking about, Kirk? Chilly here in Indy. Gary England, what's going on? David Irwin, thanks. Oh yeah, yeah, everybody wish David Irwin a speedy Irwin, I'm sorry. David Irwin. Wish David Irwin the speedy recovery. Yeah, grass is growing here already too. The mow season is here again. Did my first mow yesterday, yeah, in central Arkansas. Yeah, it's gonna be my first one today. I finally got the AA run joke. It took me a while. It took me a little bit too, Rob, when he first said that. But I completely understand. That guy's funny, man. The teacher guy. I used to know what his name was. I can't even think of what his name was. That dude cracks me up with that stuff. Aaron G, Aaron G, we're under a flash flood. Key and Peel, yeah. Under a flash flood according to the National Weather Service. Jay Quellen. Got my eye on you, Jay Quellen. That was funny. Okay. Facebook is dragging, but it's working, but dragging. All right, well, we'll get started with the regular questions. Let me run these social media links. Eric Boucher, I'm here, ready to get educated. Thank you for joining us, Eric. There's social media links I'm running besides YouTube and Facebook. If you haven't already followed us on YouTube and Facebook, please do. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up. All of that stuff helps, so I would appreciate it. And we have a real friend named Jacqueline too. Oh, yeah, I remember you told me that. Y'all have a friend named Jacqueline that y'all call her Jay Quellen. Have a speedy recovery, David Irwin. Yeah, he missed the show last week because of surgery. Okay. Oh, I'll show this. I'll put my email address back up later too, but I'll put it up now. Send me if you have any interesting golf cart pictures, anybody would like for me to share on the show, I will be glad to. Just send me an email at 00timfreeman@gmail.com, and I will be glad to feature them and talk about them. Haven't been getting very many pictures lately, so that's why I haven't shown any. All right, we'll get started with the regular questions here, if I can find them. Let me check Facebook one more time. Yep, it's dragging. All right, first question is from Richard. The Club Car golf cart serial numbers are A97. It has been lowered. My rear spring is weak. Someone is in the back seat and the tires rub. Okay, so when there's got someone on the back seat, the tires rub the fenders. My front spring is from left to right. Yeah, that's true, not front to back. Can you help me figure out how to make it so I can haul someone back there? Well, you're gonna have to put a stiffer spring in the rear. I mean, that's the only thing you can do. If it's been lowered, you definitely don't have a lot to play with. You know, there's not a lot of room, so the only thing you can do is stiffen up that rear spring. Now, the way to do that is you go with a heavy-duty rear spring. Now, that being said, that may raise, not only will it stiffen it up, but it may raise your cart about 1 inch, because that heavy-duty leaf spring is going to have it's going to have a better arc to it. And if your spring is worn out, your spring's probably almost flat in the rear. If it's a single spring on a club car, then a heavy-duty spring is going to have multiple leaves, and it's going to retain the arc better for, you know, with more weight. So it's very likely that it may raise your cart slightly, like 1 inch or so. Hey, Aaron says, I'll have some pics for you soon. My brother works for the body shop of a dealership and is painting our cart now. He has 3 more flake colors left. Cool. Yeah, send them to me whenever you get them. Rob Cedar sent me some pictures of his Corvette. He says, I'm thrilled I got my Corvette running last weekend after 25 years in the garage. Cool. I'm glad to see that you got it running, man. Everybody probably remembers, I think I shared Rob's Corvette pictures. I talked with Rob on the phone last week after he won. Nice guy. After he won the hat. Oh, I never showed you pictures yet, Rob? Is that, I didn't show them yet? Because I still got them. I mean, oh, I know what it was. Aaron sent me some pictures at the same time you sent me the Corvette pictures. Okay, that's what the deal was. He sent me all those pictures of that cool install with his Lithium in the DS, and I featured those on that episode. But I still have the Corvette pictures, so I'll share them. I should have loaded them up today. I didn't realize that. Let me write that down, that I never shared that. Okay, I'm gonna put that down here. Did not share Rob's Corvette pictures. Well, send me some more as you progress, you know, as you have more progress on it, Rob, for sure. But I'm glad you got it running. That's what the deal was, is that I just used Aaron's pictures. Number 2. This is from Jeffrey. 2013 G29 sputters at slow speed. Runs like a champ at higher speed and has a brand new carb. Before I replaced the carb, it was doing the opposite, sputtering at high speeds. Did I get a bad replacement carb? Well, Rob, I like anything, you know. I am into golf carts, but I'm into a whole lot of other stuff too. And, you know, so I appreciate anything mechanical and, you know, gearhead kind of stuff. All right, G29 sputters. Okay. If someone came to me with that description, or, you know, and I just had to, the first thing that I would want to do is I would want to ask questions about governor, because Yamahas are very, very easy to tamper with the governor. And I would want to turn the governor down, like loosen it, like slow the cart down by the governor. If you know where the governor is, just one screw on the governor to tighten up on a Yamaha. It's very, very easy to change the governor setting. I'd want to loosen it up, loosen the governor up, back out on the screw, and see if that changes anything with your situation. See if that makes it better, see if it makes it worse. Because a lot of times when you tamper with the governor too far, it can affect your slow speed running, is why I'm saying that, because you're saying it sputters at slow speed and runs fine at higher speed. So that would be what I would want to do first. See if it's a governor adjustment thing. Bruce, hello from Westfield, Wisconsin. What's going on, Bruce? Thank you for joining us. Tina Wilson on Facebook. Hi, Tim. Nice to see you. Any t-shirts available yet? Yes, we do, Tina. And I don't know if you were here, Tina, when I talked about this. I changed the policy about the announcing when we're going to give stuff away because we have so much more stuff now. We've got a lot of things to give away, including T-shirts. So your name is back in the pot, you know, for giveaways. Now, well, I'm giveaway stuff now. I don't announce it a week in advance. It's just up to me, you know, when I want to give it away. I just all of a sudden I decide to say, oh, by the way, I'm giving away something today. I haven't said anything about that yet, but just to let you know, I know you are a past winner if I remember right. So, but your name's back in there, so you could win again. So you have to be here every week, and you never know when it's going to be. It might be today. Keith, what's going on? Palmetto, Florida, checking in. Next week, I'll be back in Nashville. Easy Mike to you. Howdy, folks. What's going on? Easy Mike to you. Looks like Facebook is catching up now. Number 3. From Neil. I have a 2001 club car with a top speed of 6 miles an hour and 1-year-old batteries, all tested fine under load. It has been suggested to me that maybe the MCOR is the culprit for the low top speed. Is there a way to test the MCOR, or is this a speed controller problem? 2001 club car. Now this is number 3. All right, I'm going to have some questions about that because 2001 is right in that year where it could be an IQ system or it could be the before system. And that might mean it could be MCOR or it could be V-Glide. But yes, you want to know if your MCOR, if it is MCOR, let's just say that this 2001 does have a run tow switch under the seat. It's very likely that it would be MCOR. But like I said, 2001, they never make changes in a golf cart on January 1st of every year. It's always a few months bleed over in these years. That's why some people come up with some oddball golf carts. They said, well, mine's a 2001, but it's a V-Glide. And then somebody else says, I'm 2001 and it's an MCOR. Well, that could happen, is what I'm saying. The changes don't happen on January 1st. So it could be something like, so we'd have to clear that up first. But if you find out that you do have an MCOR on your car, that's the first place I'd check for a 6 mile an hour top speed. Now, if your car is, if it takes off normally and then drops down to 6 mile an hour top speed, that would be a different thing. If it runs normally, accelerates normally, but it only has a 6 mile an hour top end, that's when I would be looking at MCOR. Now, if it's an IQ car, 2001 might be an IQ car, then you could actually have your fault. You could have your, there's a diagnostic port that could plug in a reader, and they can look at your MCOR to see if it's going to a 100% throttle. They can do this in less than 5 minutes. They don't even have to get a voltmeter out. They just plug it in. They can go to MCOR and mash the accelerator pedal, and it will show if your MCOR is going to 100%. If your MCOR is not going to 100%, you're never going to get the top end speed that you're supposed to be getting on that golf cart. And the V-Glide, basically all you need to do is look at the wiper arm, see if it's going to the top contact. Now, as far as test on an MCOR, yes, there is a test. It's on the yellow wire close to the plug that goes into the MCOR. You're supposed to get like 4.75 volts at full throttle on that yellow wire. To do this, you would have to have an insulation piercing probe to put on that yellow wire. This is how it is explained in the club car service manual, you know. So that's why plugging in the reader and then looking at it is a whole lot easier. Not everybody has insulation piercing probes for their voltmeter, but there is a test for it. Number 4. This is from Kirk. Is there a way to make my PowerWise 36-volt EasyGo charger 2007 and 2008 carts into 220 and 50 hertz? I have 4 chargers that will need to take to Argentina, but since the voltage is different in Latin America, I don't know if there's any way I can use them, or do I need to buy another charger? If you're 2007 and 2008, I wonder if that's around the time that they switched to the solid state charger. So I wonder if those can be they can be switched or not. The older chargers, no, they're not going to be able to be switched. Now, you can buy newer up-to-date chargers that can be set for either voltage. So the easiest way to fix this problem is to do that, for sure. Okay, Joe Foster. Tim, my question on charger running long. Service battery Saturday, water, etc. Charger ran about 8 hours at 1 or 2 amps. So I shut it off, and the 16 hours resting stage was 38.7. This is a 36 volt cart, Joe? I'm assuming this is 36 volt cart. So that means there's no onboard computer. Well, it could take, now, I may have said something wrong. It could take 16 hours before your battery charger shuts off. Okay, and then 12 hours resting voltage would give you an accurate resting voltage. But it could take up to 16 hours for your charger to actually shut off. Now on a 2005 TXT36, you're talking about a big heavy PowerWise transformer charger? Or are you talking about one of them little bitty black or silver ones that are real light that you pick up with a handle? Is it the big heavy one? Because 38.7, that sounds fine as far as voltage on the batteries. But what you could do is the heavy PowerWise, because even the small one is still called a PowerWise. The light one is still called a PowerWise. I mean, I'm talking about a dramatic difference in weight between the two. So if yours is heavy, then that's the old PowerWise. What you could do is, Joe, is plug your charger in, drive the cart, some just to burn off any of the surface voltage, and then plug your charger in. Okay, it's the heavy type. All right. Well, I've never had a big problem with the heavy type shutting off as much as the other type, is why I was asking that. So 8 hours may not have been enough for it to shut off, is what I'm saying. Now, to verify that, you could put a voltmeter on your whole battery pack with some alligator clips and just have a voltmeter sitting there on your seat and have your charger running and look at your volts and see and take note of how much voltage it is, how much is it putting out, because that car could go up to about, with it on charge at the end of the charge cycle where you're only showing about 1 or 2 amps like you're talking about, the voltage could be up to 46 volts, somewhere in that range, before it decides to shut off. So see how high that voltage is, and if it's still climbing slowly, it's not going to shut off. It's not like if it's around 30, if it's around 42 volts, 47.8. Well, that's pretty high. You might be getting to that point where I'd want to check it with another charger and see if you get the same results, because you could be getting to that point. If you're getting up to 47.8 and it hadn't shut off yet, you might ought to get another one of them PowerWise from somewhere. See if you can trade with somebody else that has one. They're very, very common. That's a very common charger, and it is repairable. I've just never had that symptom in that charger, is why I wanted to be sure. But that does seem pretty excessive to not shut off. Okay, Tina Wilson, thank you. Joe Williams, hey Tim, all seems good on Facebook today. Joe Williams, thank you, sir. Yeah, I'm glad it is. It's I think Ayman figured it out. I let him figure out those things. I think he finally figured it out. I think we figured out what was going wrong. I think I'm number 4, or was I? No, that was yeah, that was where you probably, the easiest way is to get another charger, or one that could, or get you a new one that can be switched in case you have to come back to this country. Like I've seen some that are able to be switched for different, that set for different voltages. Number 5. I was given two 24 volt lithium 100 amp hour batteries. The previous owner before me upgraded BMS on one of them to a 200 amp BMS. I tried connecting them into series on my golf cart, however they only read 27 volts. When I use a voltmeter on them, it shows 54.7 volts. So it should be 48. However, when I touch the wiring, it shows 27. Any ideas? The batteries are paired in series. Okay, well, we need to make sure that we're both on the same page there about what that means, Walter M. That would mean negative to positive, negative positive on the batteries. That would be in series, and they should double in voltage. Like whatever the voltage is individually, 27 volts, and you connect them in series, you should have, what would that be? That would be 25, it'd be 50, yeah, it should be about 54. Now, see, if you're trying to do something with batteries that are not golf cart batteries, obviously, also, so that could cause a problem. Something to do, it's got to be something to do, if everything you're saying is true, then it's got to be something to do with the BMS, because what you're doing, each one of those 24 volt batteries has its own BMS, and you're connecting them in series. Well, that could be confusing. It's kind of like that saying, you got too many, because the BMS is the manager of each individual battery. That BMS is literally connected to every single cell inside that battery. And then the other battery has another manager, another BMS, that's connected to every single cell inside that battery. All right, so and then you're connecting them together in series. See, there was a Dakota Lithium, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that company, Dakota Lithium. They used to sell 12 volt lithium batteries for golf carts, and you would get 4 12s and you would hook them in series for your 48 volt golf cart. It's the same scenario, but there's 4 BMSs involved there. Well, they quit recommending that. They still sell those batteries, but they quit recommending that setup for golf cart application. They sell those for RV application. And it's because they ended up having some issues with different people's cars. They were having some issues, but if you think about it, that's 4 BMSs in series that could be confusing electrically. So you know that saying that sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen. Well, that's why the more popular way nowadays is to get one 48 volt battery and put in your car. That's why they started doing those. That's why those have kind of taken off, because there's one BMS, that's one battery that is taken care of. There's no, it can be done, obviously. There's a lot of people that have done it, but there's got to be a reason why some of the companies quit recommending doing that. Joe Foster, when I unplug it from the cart, the charger runs until unplugged from the power outlet. All right, well all right, Joe. I'll tell you what that tells me. That tells me that your relay on the board, your relay on the circuit board is stuck. Because that charger is not even supposed to come on until you plug it into the car and it clicks, because it's a DC activated relay. All right, you plug it into the car, it sees DC voltage, that relay clicks from the DC voltage inside your battery pack, and then that makes the charger come on. And when you unplug it, there's no DC voltage going to that relay anymore, so the charger shuts off. So if it's not shutting off, then that relay on your circuit board, which is a very common repair on that type charger, because that circuit board is not separate from the relay, it's soldered and onto the relay. You replace the whole board, which includes that relay in that particular charger. That would be very common. Now that's a lot more common symptom, that I am familiar with than the not shutting off thing. But because you've got that, maybe it's time for a new board, is what I'm saying. I think new circuit board for that car you can get for $100 or something like that, somewhere around $100. D-Max says, I like using two 48-volt batteries in my cars. Well, two 48 volts in parallel is what you're talking about. Yeah, it's a little, that changes things a little bit, but you still have to remember that you got two BMSs going on there. If you ever have any problems with that setup, parallel is, I mean, it's not as confusing to the system as hooking BMSs in series. Cleaning my batteries before I leave them for the summer. I've seen rust on battery posts and connectors. Cleaned a couple with a brush on my electric drill. What's the proper way to remove rust? To remove rust is, you just do that any way you can, but the 50-50 mixture of baking soda and water would help with the acid. Hey Tim, did you get to drive your drag car this weekend, and how's the battery doing? So far it's doing fine. So far it's doing fine. I'm still trying to decide what to do about the camo one. So I've either got I'm still hadn't had time to dive into that. I've either got a motor issue or a controller issue on that one. And that battery is most likely gonna go back in the camo cart whenever I figure out what I'm gonna do about that. It's most likely gonna go back in that cart. And then I may drop a 48 volt in this one. But right now it's just got that 36. But it's doing fine. I mean, I hit it hard, and that car will put a hard hit on it because it's got 6-to-1s in it. So when you punch that one, it will put a hard hit on a battery. So, and that battery is doing it's fine. I mean, it's a very light car, but it still is capable of putting a really hard amp pull on that battery. And I haven't been able to shut it down yet. Now I haven't gone. I have to admit, I have not gone from a dead stop punch off the line. I haven't done that with it yet. I've kind of been easing into it and just seeing how it will do. And I've been, after I get rolling, I'll put a big pull on it, and it's doing perfectly fine. But I'm gonna work up to punching it off for dead stop and see if I can make the BMS cut me out there. I just didn't want to ruin my battery on the first test run. One of my LiPo4s had a similar issue on its own or in series with the other three voltages looked normal. When I connected it to anything, it dropped to 0. It was replaced under warranty. There you go, Rich. That's what I'm saying. There have been some issues with hooking. There have been issues. I talked to a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of customers. There have been some issues with lithiums in series. Not all of them. A lot of people have them that way, and everything's fine. But there have been some issues with that. Mr. D, happy Taco Tuesday. What's going on, Mr. D? Rob Cedar says, jump the relay. Well, he's saying that the relay's jumping itself. He said it's staying on when he unplugs from his golf cart. So it's staying jumped, basically. That's why I'm thinking it may be welded shut. Okay. Jerry Kelly on Facebook. What's going on, Jerry Kelly? Hi, Tim. What's going on, Jerry? Thank you for joining us, sir. Number 6 from Matthew. I have an EasyGo 36 volt PDS stock. All right. I added a Scotty B's DVM with the nice stainless plate. I left this one in here because I have one of those. I have one of those Scotty B's DVMs with the nice stainless plate. It's the coolest voltmeter ever. It's on this race car up here. It's really cool. So I know exactly what you're talking about. We had a windstorm that did something to the power company's delivery, and we had a series of 18 power outages with only a few seconds of downtime between the outages. On the last outage, it finally lasted 2 hours before they finally got it fixed. My DVM was showing erratic readings with what looks like the display lost the first digit from the left. I rewired the DVM and found a shorted wire, 20 gauge red wire off the meter. After I rewired it, still the same problem. I assume that means new meter from Scotty. I have a DPI charger which seemed to come through with flying colors. The DVM is wired direct to the battery pack. My question is, could the power surges through the DPI have done this? I would say absolutely that could have happened. Would rewiring the meter through the voltage reducer have helped prevent this? Matthew, I don't think that there's anything that you could have done that would help prevent that, because I've seen lightning strikes at golf courses cause massive destruction in the fleet of cars. I've seen power outages cause problems with the relays and chargers, and problems with the car themselves, because the charger doesn't know what to do. Like, just think, a charger is supposed to run off 110 volts, right? Charger's plugged into the wall, it's supposed to run off 110 volts. It's plugged into your golf cart, it's charging. Lightning strikes a pole down the street or a transformer down the street. You have no idea how much voltage actually went to that charger for a split second, or maybe more than a split second. And it's going to be, lightning is going to be way more than 110 volts. So it can cause all kinds of destruction, and I wouldn't be surprised if it could damage the stainless steel nice DVM. Mr. D, got my 48 volt lithium, installed it in the ag cart. The cart only crawls and doesn't go fast. I took the pot box and tested it. It goes from 0 to 5K. Mr. D, was everything fine before the lithium? That would be my first question. I mean, you got to narrow down if it's the lithium swap or if it's something else. I mean, if it was fine before the lithium swap shouldn't have caused any other problems. Number 7. That's where I'm at. This is from Dennis. Just bought a used 94 Club Car DS for my daughter for Christmas. I ordered a 6-inch Jake's lift and larger 22-inch tires and rims for it. I did notice I didn't have enough power to drive up the ramp on my trailer, so I was wondering what I need to get more power out of it. 94 Club Car DS, okay. It has interstate batteries in it, and I have heard they are junk. Just need a little more power. No, interstates are fine if there's not a problem with them. I mean, take some voltage readings on them. I don't need crazy speed. My 12 will be driving, but I want to be able to get itself out of a dry ditch. Well, see, you got 22-inch tires on it, and that's going to hurt you. If that's 94 Club Car DS is a controller car, then the thing to do would be get a bigger controller, get a more higher amp Navitas or an Alltrax controller for that car, and that will help with the 22-inch tires. Or you could change those tires down to 20s. That would help. That would help a little bit. That would give you a little bit more torque. Lead acid batteries were dead when I purchased the cart. Seller said it drove well. Well, if your potentiometer is measuring 0K to 5K, then that's all it can do. So you are getting the wide open signal. Now, I would want to put a voltmeter on that lithium battery, and when it's crawling, see what the volts are doing on that lithium battery. Like, put your voltmeter on it while the car is crawling, and make sure it's still holding. 48 volt lithium batteries actually should hold about 53 volts, 52 volts, something like that. It's going to be a little over 48. See if it's still holding 48. Like, hook your voltmeter directly to the lithium battery and then drive the cart. So you got to eliminate that as being the problem first. That was number 7. And number 8. I'm helping a neighbor restore his 91G9. Her granddad added lights to it, but it didn't install a relay or a fuse, and used a household AC switch on a single gang box. As you can imagine, the lights don't work. I'm rewiring it, all proper switches and whatnot, but I'd like to wire them after the ignition switch. I'm guessing I just wired up as normal, but instead of using the battery post, positive post, I splice into the switch side terminal of the ignition switch. What do you think? You might know, you might understand that and be able to do that. I wouldn't do it like that. I wouldn't do it. I don't like messing with the ignition switches on golf cars. I don't like adding stuff to the ignition switch. I want the ignition switch to be fine. I would install, they're cheap, just separate 12-volt switch for your lights. Install it somewhere else. You can install it right beside the ignition switch. Drill a hole and install a completely separate switch for your lights, just like on an automobile. And then run that straight to the battery or straight to your voltage reducer, whatever it is. Was this a gas? I don't think you told me. Side of the ignition switch. I'm assuming that we're talking about a gas cart because you didn't say anything about voltage reducer or anyway. I would rather see you go to the positive negative post of the battery, and you won't have any problems that way. And put a fuse in one of the lines. Half hour late but made it. Bob Lewis. What's going on, Bob Lewis? Mr. D says, I'll try that. Oh, yep. William Rizzo. Hello, Tim and good people from the Villages, Florida. What's going on, William? Thank you for stopping by. I think we got another issue that Iman and I are going to have to talk about. It's the microphone issue. Let me check Facebook. Oh, we're still good there. Number 9. From Franklin. Fixed one issue, now another. Well, that's usually the way it works. When you press the pedal, feels like you're riding a bull. It bucks. The amp gauge goes from 30 to 20. The amp gauge goes from 30 to 20 to -9, almost like the region is kicking in, and I'm not going downhill. 99 DS Ultrax 500 MCOR 4 Bandit motor. Number 9. I'm not sure that I understand your description there, Franklin, but the bottom line is I would want to know battery voltages first. And I know everybody knew I was going to say that. I want to see what's happening to the battery voltage when your car is bucking. So in other words, I want you to do the same thing I told the last person, Mr. D. I want you to hook a voltmeter directly to the battery pack and make the car buck and watch your voltages on your battery pack and see if your voltage is actually bucking. Let's eliminate that first, and then we can go from there, because it could be one of your batteries that's bucking up and down, but you'd be able to see it on your voltmeter. So we want to get that out of the way first, and then we'll talk about your Bandit and your MCOR 4 and all that stuff. Everybody has a certain way of doing things, and I have a certain order that I approach every cart in. And I always eliminate batteries as being the problem first, because low voltage can cause a lot of issues. Weak battery can cause a lot of issues. You got to understand that you can have a battery that shows, in a 48 volt car, you've got 6 8-volt batteries. You can have a battery that shows over 8 volts. You put a voltmeter on it, it shows over 8 volts. A lot of people walk away saying, oh, that's fine, that's good. Those batteries are good. I just did a voltage test on them. They're over 8 volts. Nope. As soon as you start driving that car, that battery that's showing over 8 volts could drop down to 1. As soon as you put any amount of pressure on that battery, it could drop down to 1. That's what a bad battery does. Sometimes it'll show low voltage, but sometimes it'll show normal voltage just sitting there, and it doesn't show its true colors until you actually put a load on it, or a slight load. He's got a Ron D-Max is I know he's got Lithium batteries, Litime. I know he's got at least one of those. Because he's the one that talked me into getting the one that I got. We don't sell those, but so I'm kind of testing them as a product testing person for Golf Cart Garage and see how I like them. And maybe we'll start selling them in the future if I give it a good review. So far it's good, but I haven't done a lot of testing with mine yet. I haven't done enough, I don't feel. Oh, number 10 from Keith T. 2011 TXT 48 volt. Just installed a Navita 600 heavy duty solenoid, 6-inch lift with 23s. What is the gear ratio? What's the best setup for a stock motor? Well, a TXT rear end stock gear ratio is 12.44 to 1. That's a stock gear ratio. Now, unfortunately, I don't even think you can go any lower geared than that. They used to have a set of 15 to 1s that you could get for that rear end, but I haven't seen that in a while. I don't know if you can still get 15 to 1s or not, but those are, the stock ratio is 12.44 to 1. You have two other choices that are readily available, but they're both higher gear ratios. So my question is, you got 23s on it. What are you trying to accomplish? And do you have wheelie pulling power now? Because if you don't have wheelie pulling power now with the 600 amp Navitas and 23s, then any change that you make is going to make your torque decrease. It's going to make your top end increase. But so in other words, what I'm saying is that the stock ratio is the best until you get plenty of torque to pull higher speed gears. Because your first set that would be a little bit higher than what you got would be 8 to 1s that would be available for that rear end. Then you got 6 to 1s that are available for that rear end. So the stock gear ratio would probably be the best, considering that you already changed that a little bit because of the 23-inch tires. So we'd have to talk and see what it is you're trying to accomplish. But the bottom line is, any changes you make is going to rob your torque a little bit. So what I'm saying is that, can you afford your torque to be robbed? That's what I'm getting at. Do you have like a whole bunch of torque? Because if you do, then you could go to another set of gears. But if you're not like wheelie pulling torque, then you might ought to leave it where it's at. That might be the best gear ratio for your setup, is the stock gear ratio. Hey Ron, are they smaller than the large LiPo batteries? I'm trying to figure out how to add a second battery just like I have. Well, see, they're the same. They're large. All right, now you've got yours running front to back. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. What's good about a TXT battery rack. I know yours is a Club Car DS, and that might be causing you a problem. But in a TXT battery rack, it's easy to do two. You could do two of them. You gotta grind the little the battery hold down post out of the rack, and then you can put two of them. They go left to right across the cart. They're not front to back like yours. They go from left to right across, and the two of them will just sit right in there. I mean, very easy. So look at that and see if you can look at your battery rack situation and see if you can figure out how to arrange an aluminum battery rack that goes left to right, because I don't see how you would do two front to back on a DS. I'm not saying it couldn't be done. I'm just saying it's going to take a lot of beer to figure out how to do that. All right. But they're large. They're the large size lithiums. And probably not as light. See, I did go with the cheaper option first to get more speed. I ordered the 25 10-inch tires. That was $400 compared to $700 or $800 for gears. And I do whiskey over beer. Well, a lot of times it takes a lot of beer to figure out golf cart issues. You know, you have to stand around and think, and sometimes that's what it takes. Let's check Facebook and see where we're at over there. It looks all good over there. Okay, let me go through these social media links. Guys from the Kart Life TV, they're doing air ride setup on a club car with high-speed gears. I haven't seen that, Aaron. But I have seen other people do air ride stuff. It's pretty cool. It can be done. There's no doubt about it. Here are the other social media platforms. I know I already ran this once. Please follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Give us a like and a subscribe if you like this content. We come here every Tuesday and we go live. If you would like to send me, I'll just go through all these one-on-one. If you'd like to send me some pictures, put my email up there. I'll leave it up there. Send me some golf cart related pictures or mechanically related pictures to 00timfreeman@gmail.com. I'll leave that up there. I had all that typed up from question 1, and then I got customer. Oh, that's right. You're working at this time. I remember. I'll leave that up there. Can I put the hat graphic up too? If you'd like to buy a hat at Golf Cart Garage, you can. If you'd like to buy a Golf Cart Garage hat, here they are. Look at there. I can put all those graphics at the same time. There are links in the description that takes you straight to them, just straight to the hats, if you'd like to purchase one. We do give hats away on this channel occasionally. And you never know when it's going to be. You never know when it's going to be. Just every now and then, I decide to do it. I don't have any pictures, so we're not going to be using this graphic today, the Let's See graphic. Here is the Contact Us graphic. This is how you contact Golf Cart Garage. My email is me personally, that goes straight to me, but you can contact Golf Cart Garage with support@golfcartgarage.com, and there is the phone number if you'd like to do it. Our coupon is not active yet, so I don't have the up-to-date coupon. When we do give away hats and t-shirts, I'll show. There's the t-shirt, Friends Don't Let Friends Do Lead Acid. This is from Eco Battery, and there is one of the Eco Battery hats. When we do decide to give away prize, you get a choice of several more items, not just the Golf Cart Garage hats. You can choose a t-shirt, and that hat right there would be fine. You can choose that Eco Lithium hat right there if you would like. A little bit different with some green writing. I have one of those. It's pretty cool. You can choose, there's the front of the t-shirt. It just says EB Eco Battery, and that's the same hat right there. So yeah, we do have some more swag that when we give something away, you got a lot more to choose from. I think Rob got a Golf Cart Garage hat and then an Eco Lithium shirt, t-shirt. I believe that's what he chose. So you can do that. That's not a problem either. All right, let me check Facebook. Everything's rolling. We're getting out of here today on time, it looks like. Right on time. All right, guys. Eco. Yeah, Kirk's fixing to tell me. I've been getting several ads for different lithium batteries and are under $1,000. Are these scams? Well, that's what I'm trying to find out, Kirk, because the one that I'm testing is under $1,000. I mean, that's why I was interested in testing it, because there are so many. There's lots of them out there now that are claiming this and claiming that. So, and I was, you know, they're real expensive, but now they've got some in the $600 range. you know, well under $1,000. And that's what I'm testing in that car. And I'm testing it for, you know, I'm saying I'm testing it for Golf Cart Garage, but at the same time, I wanted one for myself. So I'm seeing how good it is. Hey, Aaron said he got one from Amazon on sale for under $1,000 and he's loving it. Well, this one's definitely under $1,000, the one that I got. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but it's definitely under $1,000, and so far so good. So that's what it's all about. Is I'm doing some product testing. So that's why we want honest reviews on people with different brands of lithiums. That's when we talk about that all the time. I understand being leery, Kurt. I'm leery too. I was leery too, but that's why. But I talk to a lot of people, so I get a lot of feedback on this. Like D-Max from D-Max, I talk to a lot of people that have different. I've heard a lot of people talk about those chins too. In fact, I think the lifetime and the chins may be basically almost the same thing, because the price is almost the same. The charger looks exactly the same. So I wouldn't be surprised if those are really just repackaged in another brand. They're probably the same thing. I don't know that to be certain, but they look very similar. Aaron says Chins is good. He's using Cloud Energy. They look the same. Yeah, they all kind of look eerily the same to me too. But yeah, that's what I want. I want some honest feedback, honest reviews on whether or not people are having trouble with them, whether or not they're working out good, because it's the price is very low. It's hard to resist, you know, on prices that low. Black body, orange top. Yep. Let's see. The whole thing is black, but it's got orange stickers on it. Eco batteries, you know, we do sell Ecos at Golf Cart Garage. If you're leery of the inexpensive Chinese stuff, I've heard real good things about the Ecos. So they're on sale now at Golf Cart Garage, about 20% off of the Eco batteries. Also, our Summit 2 chargers by Lester are back in stock. We do have Summit 2. We still have some garage sale stuff going on. We still have some garage sale items going on, and some of those items are up to 45% off. So you might want to go to golfcartgarage.com and look for anything saying garage sale. It might be something you're interested in there, and it might be on. You may get a good deal on it. All right, guys, I am going to be out of here. I appreciate everybody stopping by today. Facebook is all good. Everything worked. I appreciate y'all stopping by like you do every week. Again, speedy recovery to David Irwin. Glad you were able to show up. And I will see everybody in the next Taco Tuesday. Garage is now closed.